Alright, well, I'm printing a bunch of different stuff. I'm printing this one on one and on another, the exact same one. I'm printing this here, which is a tool holder. You see it looks pretty good. I printed this one earlier on this machine here with this stuff, and it really doesn't look that good. I'm hoping maybe it's the filament. I did have it printing kind of fast, but it also did some shrinkage curvature here because this was printed in place like this. So that one's definitely looking better. There's some stringing on it, but this is also printing like. Hold on, let me back out of that. It says the speed is 100. Well, I don't know if it's 100% or if it's 100 millimeters per second. And it's been printing this thing for 3 hours and 44 minutes, and it's not done. And it does look pretty good. I watched this other one print. This printed in about an hour and some change. So I'm gonna guess this is printing at 50, and this prints at 180 usually. I'm printing what they call a Ghost Benchy, which is a ship. It's going to have like a skull on the front of it, and so we have this one printing here. I'm gonna guess that this one's gonna get done quicker than the one inside the house. So let's go look at the one in the house. Okay, so this is the one in the house. This way we can compare the two printers. Let's see how long has this been printing. This has been printing for 33 minutes. It's at 18%. I'm going to guess that the other one will catch up to it and probably get done before it. So we'll see. So I'm almost positive that this will definitely catch up. I may have set the other one to print at 150, but I think it was probably set at 50 or 80 or 100, somewhere around there. This one, when I use the profile, it usually defaults to 180. And I guess the typical speed that this is capable of maximum is 255, even though it will let you go all the way up to 500. So, like I said, it's gonna have like a skull on the front of it. So I'll make a video of the two prints when they're done, and then we can just see which one looks better. I know, just to be fair, I put the filament in the dryer here because I want to use something that's not all screwed up. I'm printing the other one with gray, and the gray was in this filament dryer a few minutes before I brought it out here, so it should be good to go. 97%. I feel like this printer here is kind of cool. Like, you could print some masks, you could print some really big cosplay stuff, you know, like people like to do. And I think it would do perfectly fine because it's got the build area, and you're just slow and steady, you know. I really don't think there's a reason to upgrade it and try and hot rod it unless you can get the parts for a completely different computer, and then you can do it. So I'm gonna run this just like it is, and I guess I would probably not be super impressed with this printer, but like, it pretty much does what it says it'll do. And you have a pretty good printing volume, 310 by 310 by 400. A couple times I did print on it, and whatever I was printing came loose off the print bed. So it probably wouldn't hurt to go get a different print bed for this. it did have a little boo-boo right there, and I can't remember. I went in and the Z offset adjusts itself in 0.05s, and it was just a little too close. So I'd love to take off this plastic housing so that I can kind of make it more of a V shape. Because when you're doing your first layer, you can't see nothing. I like this one better. This one's really nice for being able to get in there and see. So anyway, and then the other printer is just chilling back here. I haven't done anything with it. Today I printed a couple of test things, the little round square things. You can kind of see the shape of them, and it really seems to do real well with glass and hairspray. So I know that I can count on this to print pretty good. So basically I'm just dealing with the rest of the Misfits right now. And this one seems to print good. I'm not having the problems I was having initially. But the quality of it isn't like amazing. I think I might have over tightened the print head because I was noticing you'd see all this funky crap on the wheels, and I thought maybe, well, it's just wearing because it's new, and then I noticed it was doing it a little more. So, but when I first got it, you could kind of wiggle the print head a little bit, and so I adjusted the eccentric down there on the bottom, V-roller, whatever you want to call it, and changed all that. So these things here, if these extrusional rods or whatever they call them, if they're all the same, some of these printers will run a belt inside the front. Some of them will run a belt inside the back. They seem to have really strange ways of doing things. But depending on how the carriage is set up, you could probably put most anything on anything. But what I noticed was I wanted to convert one of these. And then I realized that these wheels got quite a bit of wear on them. I realized that the print head, the nozzle is all the way over here. But Creality sells a kit, but it would drop your nozzle down here. So, because I wanted to get rid of this type of extruder. But in reality, I'm not having any problems with the extruder. I tried a couple different tests and it's working great. What was wrong with the other one, there's a little bolt in here. And it was cranked all the way up into here. And it was loosened. And you couldn't adjust it because the bolt was just spinning inside of there. I actually had to break it loose with some wrenches and a little bit of elbow grease. So normally you should be able to just turn it. Well, you couldn't, and the bolt was just in there, and they had it loosened all the way. When you back it off all the way, it tightens up against this, and so it wouldn't come undone. So I think that was the issue with that one. But yeah, you could replace the entire print head. You could go on there. For $29, you could get a Neo, which is kind of look like this quite a bit, and just swap the whole thing. There's a couple different ones. You could get an Ender 3 direct drive with the motor in the front and the other part in the back, but the nozzle will be like right there. So what happens is this computer has no idea that the nozzle is like this far off, and so you would actually probably go off the print bed if you were, trying to do certain things. So with these, I'm just going to print with them. I'm going to use them. I'm going to enjoy them. And I'm going to try not to get too complicated with it. Although, like the guy was saying earlier today, with printing and stuff like that, you need to identify what interests you about 3D printing. Do you just want to print? Or do you want to tinker with stuff? Or what do you want to do? Do you want to print miniatures? Do you want to print cosplay costumes? Do you want to print functional parts? Do you want to print things and make money? What do you want to do? And so it's kind of like the ham radio stuff, Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to get on the radio and talk to everybody and be an appliance operator? Do you want to fix radios? Do you want to tinker with them? Do you want to try new things? You know, so my tastes are pretty much the same for both things. I want to print. I want to tinker with them. I want to play with them. I want to figure out what makes them work. And then I want to enjoy them and try new techniques and, you know, push them to their limits and make them work better. And I want to be able to design stuff and build stuff. So, you know, and if I could do that with radios, I would build the perfect radio. But, you know, there's just no way for me to do that. So anyway, looks like the radio is pretty noisy. So we're just going to kick back here, wait for these things to print, and search around on the radio. And, you know, I don't really lately feel much like talking to people on the radio unless it's people I've known for a really long time. A lot of these people on here, you know, I tolerate them, and they probably tolerate me. So, you know, I don't have much for them. But I enjoy radio. I enjoy the challenge of making contacts. And there is no challenge in making contacts with 1500 watts and a good antenna. So that's generally why you see me when I'm in the shack. I don't get out on here and make contacts. I don't try. I don't care. It's just easy. So that's why you'll see me in the backyard on Dollar Tree wire with questionable antenna stuff. You know. Anyway, it's getting late. I'm going to try and wrap some things up and try to go through some more stuff and get some more stuff cleared out so you get more room in here. And I still haven't dealt with that corner back there, but anyway, hopefully I'm not boring everybody to death with the 3D printer stuff. I try and make a video on 3D printer stuff and share with what I'm doing, but kind of keep it relevant to ham radio, and then sometimes I don't. But then I realize that other people might find use out of the videos, so I apologize if I'm boring both sides of the fence. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later.